What if I told you that improving your circulation could be as simple as moving your energy? Well, Qi Gong is a great practice for people with peripheral artery disease. And we have our good friend, Marcia. She used to do Moving Mondays with Marcia, but she had to take a break because she had to be good to herself and get her arteries treated. And she's been working to get back on track using Qi Gong. She's a certified instructor, and she is here with us to not only tell her story, but also to show you some of the moves that helped her improve her circulation and heal with peripheral artery disease, at least the advanced stage, critical limb threatening or chronic limb threatening ischemia. Kevin, you're with us today. I'm excited because you've mentioned about moving energy and such, as we've gone along in our Collateral Nation seminars. What are you most excited about with this particular practice?
Well, it's awareness that Qi is real. You can move this energy around your body, but it's subtle. So you have to take those earbuds out and you have to actually listen to your body in a quiet meditative state. But I think Marcia maybe could add to that. Not Marcia, yeah, Marcia.
It's actually Marcia, but it's spelled CIA.
Marcia, wasn't that an ancient civilization related to Persia? Marcia.
I'm not sure about that. I just always remember Marcia. It's always Marcia.
Okay,
The Brady Bunch.
Over to Marcia.
The Brady Bunch when she got hit in the nose with the softball.
There's Carl standing up.
So, we have a great live in studio audience. So those of you watching on YouTube, if you ever want to join us in studio, it's just info@padhelp.org. We have a wonderful live studio audience here. I see that even Carl is standing up. He's ready to get his Qi on, which I'm excited about. But first, I want to get into a little bit. So Marcia, we hinted in the beginning that you have a little bit of a story to tell. You can relate to everybody here. It looks like you're moving really well for someone that ended up in advanced stage chronic limb threatening ischemia or critical limb ischemia.
Yes, I am. And honestly, I owe it all, first of all, to you, Kim, and to doing Qi Gong. Honestly, these two things. About, 4 or 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with P.A.D. and the first interventional cardiologist, she said, I put a stent in your iliac artery, but anything below there, you have to go see my husband. He's a vascular surgeon. So, and I'm a retired x-ray tech, by the way. I worked in an ER at a nonprofit hospital for almost a decade. And none of that really helped me figure out the P.A.D. thing, honestly. So anyway, I went to see this vascular surgeon guy, and he's like, well, you need an above the knee amputation because your SFA is completely occluded. We couldn't get access. And my right thigh. And so just chop the whole thing off because otherwise they're just going to keep chopping, and it's miserable. And
so why delay the inevitable is what we hear over and over and over again.
And I'm like, whoa. I mean, that shocked me, first of all, because when I first saw him, my toe was just a little bit purple and it hurt a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. And so I'm like, I'll get back to you on that one, doc. And meanwhile, my great right toe is starting to get worse and turning black. And I'm stuck in the wound care thing. And finally, I found Kim, and she referred me to one interventional cardiologist who got through. He put a stent in my SFA in my thigh, but it was too small. And then he got on down, he's working on my perineal artery, and he chipped a piece off, and he had to stop the procedure, and I had to be, they had to hold pressure for about 4 hours to make sure I stopped bleeding. And then he basically sent me on my way, said, we'll see you in 6 months because there's really nothing else I can do. And so once again, Kim came to the rescue, and she referred me to, I swear, this guy's a miracle man. He really is. And the first
But
time
they
I
were
saw
going to cut
him,
off your legs again. Wasn't you USF? Weren't they still talking like bilateral
it's like,
amputations? Yeah.
yes, I was on board for amputation. That's what my report said, on board for amputation. And so I went to see this other doctor that Kim referred me to. And when I'm telling him my story, and he could see I was in such horrible pain. I was at about a level 8, 9 every day, all the time. And it was horrible. You know, I could only sleep about 90 minutes at a time. The pain would wake me up again, resting pain. And this doctor, first of all, addressed me from the other, it's not just our arteries, it's our veins too, people. You know,
Yeah.
it's a whole system here. It's a whole connected system. And so he did a vein ablation on me. That helped. He put a couple other stents in down lower. He cleared my perineal artery and he did a pedal loop. And so just over a year ago, March of 2025, I had my second revision done on my great right toe amputation, which honestly was a huge relief because it had osteomyelitis, infection in the
That's
bone,
infection
and
to
that
the
just
bone.
spreads. That just spreads if you don't do anything about it. So today I'm walking around with 9 toes. I could even run. I'm very flexible, and I thank him, and I'm so grateful that I learned Qi Gong about 15, 16 years ago when I herniated 3 discs in my back, shoving x-ray plates as a x-ray tech.
Yeah. Oh my
So
goodness.
Qi Gong is an
But you
amazing
have your
thing.
legs. You have your
Yes,
legs.
I do. And I have most of my toes too. I have 9 toes. And you know what? 9 beats 1 any day of the week.
Yes. I'm so excited for you, and that's amazing. But did you ever at any point in the process give up all of Qigong, or were there aspects that you were able to do that you credit with helping you in the process and further you in the process of healing?
Well, I took it very slow, even though I had been introduced to Qigong years ago. I came back to it during COVID, and then I just kind of stuck with it and then got certified as a Tai Chi instructor. So it's been with me a while. And a lot of Qigong is about a mindset, about being mindful and being grateful and being aware. And once you understand how your energy, your life force energy, which is called Qi in Chinese medicine, works, then it all kind of clicks a little bit better. It did for me anyway. And it really does take just doing it. And you can build a habit. It's a small habit. You can instead of going, oh, I have to do 10,000 steps today, and you're like, through it all, and you're bored and you're hot and sweaty in Florida. You can instead of thinking quantity, you can think about quality. And so that's like kind of the difference between fitness and wellness. Fitness is your body's ability to do physical activity. Wellness is your overall state of well-being, which throughout life, which happens on many different planes. There's emotional, there's physical, mental. So all of these things are thought about and considered when we consider our life force energy, which is called Qi, and old ancient Chinese medicine. And that's what Qigong is. It's an ancient, like 14,000 years old Chinese medicine. It's so old it preceded, it's like the grandmother of Tai Chi. It's that old. And so a lot of the principles are hard to translate from ancient Chinese, like hieroglyphic looking language in modern day language. And I was fortunate enough to run into this guy here locally in Gainesville. He had a brick and mortar building, and he taught he taught Qi Gong. I'd never even heard of it before. This is when I herniated my back in like 2003. And I was amazed. I did this whole like afternoon long workshop, and I couldn't believe how good I felt afterwards. I could just feel my energy flowing. My hands were buzzing. I was like alive with this energy. And it's pretty simple to tune into. You just make up your mind. You want to look into it, be curious about it. Don't be judgmental, have an open mind, like a beginner, like a child. Just say, what's this about?
But there are little things that you can do, right? There's little things you can do to just get yourself started, whether you're driving, right? Whether you're in the kitchen,
exactly.
that you can just incorporate into whatever daily task you are doing. Give us an example of something that you do while you're driving that is not distracting you from what you're doing on the roadways.
Well, it's called One Finger Zen, and I'll turn sideways and you can pretend I'm in my car and here's my steering wheel. So you can see my index fingers are lined up straight. These fingers are curled in and kind of lined up in a row. My thumb is tucked in. And my elbows are relaxed. You never lock anything in Tai Chi because that creates resistance and it blocks the flow of your energy. So you can just do this. And it's
literally
really
as you're driving, it's just,
yeah. And it makes you, it reminds you, it brings you back. It's like, okay, be here now. What am I feeling now? How am I experiencing life looking through my little box?
So it's a little bit of mindfulness. Okay.
It's absolutely mindfulness. Another thing you can do, like the difference between a habit, the correlation between a habit and willpower is that a habit is something that you do so often that you just don't even think about it anymore. You're on autopilot. You do it subconsciously. Like I wake up in the morning and now I stretch automatically before I get out of bed. You know, I go into the kitchen, I make my coffee. Hey, here's a way to make a reward loop. While I'm making my coffee and waiting for it to brew, I have a couple of minutes to do Qi Gong. And I can stand here. I'm going to show you an exercise real quick. It's real easy.
Okay, and we got Carl that's gonna do it along with you.
Okay,
Turn it into the audience. So Carl, show us how it's done too.
I have to be able to see. I don't know how to do. I can't stand and see well at the same time.
Yeah, well, basically, if you see, I'm kind of pretending like I'm a big bear, and I have these 4 big paws, and my knees aren't locked, but they're not real bent either. They're just naturally, and I'm kind of shifting my weight from hip to hip, from leg to leg. And I'm letting my hands kind of point forward, but not real stiff and rigid, never. Just kind of relax forward. You want to always be relaxed because that's how our energy flows the best. So you just do this for a little bit. And you can actually walk around a little bit like this, which is very good for perambulation, by the way, which is, you know, your ability to sense where you are in space and time. It's very good for balance. It's very good for getting blood flow just starting to go down to your feet and legs. And while you're doing the bear walk, you think to yourself for 2 minutes, I can feel my blood flow all the way down to my toes. I can feel that blood flowing. I can feel it pumping. I can feel it.
I can feel it.
You do this for a while, do 2 minutes, and you'll probably feel a little bit of a charge in your body. Nothing great. You got to listen closely to your body and kind of block everything else out. That's mindfulness. You know, our thoughts go by 1 million miles or 1 million of them a day. And you can learn to be what I like to call the objective observer, and you step back. This is what meditation is all about. Mindfulness is, here comes a thought of a cloud. You just let it flow on by and you say, oh, I'm coming back to my heart. I'm coming back to my breath. I'm coming back to my circulation, because our circulation is so related to how we breathe. Breathing is such an important thing in Qi Gong. And for this exercise, you just breathe naturally in through your nose, out through your mouth with kind of like you're fogging your glasses sound. And your jaw is relaxed. Relaxing your jaw automatically puts your body into a parasympathetic state, which is the opposite of the fight and flight chemical that everybody's running around this world on right now. So it's very calming. It's lumbering like a bear. And that's an exercise you can do for 2 minutes in the morning. What's that?
I love it. So
Yeah,
I can do
and
it a
you
little
can
bit
walk
while I'm
around.
walking.
You can walk backwards. You can turn.
What do you think so far, Kevin?
I'm watching. It's she said a number of things that are true. One was to vary your exercises, and there's been some studies. If you go to PubMed, there's been quite a few studies recently showing that strength training, but not too much training, and varied training really contributes to longevity. And that's true. I mean, what Marcia says about Qi is true, but it's subtle. And there is an infinite variety of exercises. I didn't do Qi Gong very briefly, but I learned most of my stuff from Jeet Kune Do. But it doesn't really matter which martial art you decide to take up. It's going to improve your awareness, and that's really listening to your body is trick number one. And what you said about everybody running around distracted with things in their ears or watching TV, it's almost like they're crazy. It's like the world is crazy around us, and don't go there.
Yeah, take a breath, slow down. Ask yourself, what do I love in life? That's a great question. If you want to get distracted by a thought, that's a great one to get distracted by, because you know, there are more exercises and variations of exercises that I could possibly learn in my lifetime. So I'm always a beginner. And that's part of the beauty of this thing, is because as a beginner's mind, you have all the possibilities. An expert already knows, and it's kind of limited. But as a beginner, you're always open and curious and wondering. And it's this little shift in thought, just the tiniest shift in how you perceive things in life, that helps make Qigong work so well. And it's just a little shift. And I bet you anybody can find 2 minutes a day to go do Qigong. And that's building a little habit, like you brush your teeth in the morning. My favorite thing is getting up in the morning, and the coffee example, waiting for the coffee to brew. Oh, it's a great time to exercise. And then after you've done your 2 minutes Qigong, you get your reward. You get your cup of coffee. And you build these little happy loops this way, and it keeps you motivated to keep learning more Qigong.
Excuse me, the
And
dog.
I'm telling you, I'm just just under a year and a half out from my second toe revision, my great right toe getting amputated. And I walk and move, I can run like you never even know that I'm missing a toe. And so there's great hope. There's so many new procedures happening, and combined with this golden age of medicine, finding the right doctor through Kim and Qigong, I'm like a miracle standing here. I really am. I was like slated to be one of these one-legged people, and I was even envisioning one of those kind of bouncy, weird-looking legs that I'd walk around on that I thought kind of looks cool. And I'm like, well, if I had to lose a leg, I want one that looks like that.
It always makes me think
I don't have to lose a foot. Or I don't have to lose a
Holy
leg.
Grail. Remember Monty Python, the Holy Grail, no one shall pass, and he ends up chopping off his legs and his arms until he's just a stump. And
Oh man, I haven't thought about that in ages.
yeah, that's what it
Wow.
always reminds me of when I hear about these surgeons who just want to chop stuff off. when really they don't need to. I mean, if you just have a slight darkening of your toe, that doesn't mean you need an amputation. That means you need to improve blood flow to your toe. And of course, we can do that. What you're talking about, that's what this is all about, really. This is about looking after yourself.
Yeah, and so it's amazing to me that I went from having like a little slightly purple toe spot on my great right toe to being told I needed my whole right leg amputated. And then finding out, no, no way, no how. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Any doctor says amputation, I'm like, no, not happening.
No
Because
one
we have
shall
so
suffer.
many better ways of handling this progressive disease now. I realize it's progressive. I realize I'll have to have other procedures. In fact, I'm lined up for one, or getting ready to be lined up for one in sometime this month or August, and I have to drive 3.5 hours away to this good doctor, but it's worth it. It is so worth it to find a good doctor.
There's another thing
Yeah.
you mentioned, Marcia, which is about meditation. When I drive my truck, I use what's called a 3-minute the 3-minute meditator's approach. So I pull up at a stoplight. Instead of worrying about the red light stopping me, I just take myself into the present, look around. Often I see, animals out there, interesting stuff, just by coming back to the present. And your finger exercise is exactly that kind of thing.
Yes.
Instead of getting agitated because the coffee isn't ready or because there's a car in your way, you just come back to a calm place, and that becomes a habit. And Stephen Pressfield's book on turning professional is actually pretty good, Turning Pro, in that when it comes to P.A.D., you need professional habits. You don't need amateur habits, because P.A.D. is a professional. It's there all the damn time. So you have to kind of take the work on seriously, but playfully.
I love it. Seriously, but playfully. That's really, I think, the key to what I call basically a miracle in my life, that I'm standing here walking, talking, grooving, moving. It's, it's exactly that. I like to say finding my happy place. And that's where I hang out all the time now, is in the happy
But it's
place.
just
Well, most all the
amazing.
time.
Marcia, I've worked with people with PADs since 2016, and I've never seen someone come out of chronic limb-threatening ischemia. Look at you bounce around. I have never seen anything like this. I'm just blown away. And I mean, look how quick, look at this, Kevin. She's so nimble and bouncy. And I mean,
Here's another Qi Gong
this
exercise.
is so encouraging. Okay, give us
Here's
the other
another one.
exercise.
It's
You
called
use
shaking
AI
the
to
tree.
simulate. Maybe
Just
it's an
wiggle.
AI simulation.
Just
make
wiggle.
everything loose and bouncy.
Kevin,
Your
you're hilarious.
fingers, your wrists,
I'm just cracking. Hold on, Kevin's
bounce up
cracking
and down
himself up.
on
It's
your
so
feet.
funny.
Say woohoo! Yeah, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Happy wiggles. Yeah, wiggle all of it.
Yeah, but you
Shake
get
it
people early on who are in a much more difficult situation, and there the problem's mental, how to keep going. I feel very lucky I'm still fine after a AAA and P.A.D. and cabbage surgery. I'm lucky I'm where I am.
Another miracle, man.
People in a wheelchair, I think it must be really tough. And so, yeah, a lot of it comes down to mental power, mental energy.
And that
if you're
comes
sitting
back
there in a
to
wheelchair,
habit.
you can still do this,
Yes,
right?
you
We
can
always
do.
struggle.
Yes, you can sit down and do Tai Chi or Qi Gong. Here's another exercise. It's called. I'm going to stand up to do it, but sit down. Sitting down. You can do this. It's called Two Dragons Playing with a Pearl.
Okay.
I have a basketball in my hand. I'm holding
Kevin,
it
you can
between
do
my
this one.
Qi. It's my Qi ball. And you just
Okay.
turn your hips to the
Come on,
left.
Douglas, let's
Follow
do it.
your eyes.
Marina, I want to see your
And
pearl,
then
Carl.
flip your ball. And lean, turn your hips the other way. Keep your eyes straight forward. And you just keep flipping this ball.
Well, that actually feels good. I didn't think that would do anything.
You feel
And
it
I
in your
just-
hips a little bit if you're tucking.
Yeah.
If you're tucking,
And-
relaxing your spine, because when you do that, your hips kind of tuck in a little bit and your knees are bent. It's like instead of being sway back, you just relax your tailbone down and it straightens this part of your spine out a little bit. And you bend your knees a little bit. It's called Wuji position. But you just kind of rock back and forth. And if you can even walk around doing this.
That's
You know
where
what's
the
interesting?
bougie
I
wougie
had,
came from.
what'd you say,
So you
Carl?
can make it
That's where the
fun.
bougie wougie came from.
Is that where Uji came from?
No, bougie wougie. Then we changed it to boogie woogie.
Woogie, boogie woogie. I like it. Yeah, I like it. So do your little
That's fun.
woogie woogie.
Uji Wuji.
Yeah,
So,
John,
you know,
Kinesis is a exercise you just do sitting in a chair for lengthening your spine and getting it more flexible, which is similar to that movement. So there are so many different techniques and methods. The trick is to choose one and damn well do it. Do the work and enjoy the movement changes. So yeah, that's quite an interesting one actually. And you notice that the ball is in her mind as she turns around. There it is. You can kind of feel it's there, and it kind of creates a kind of center, and your spine twists around it, and it's very relaxing. And the beauty of that is it encourages shoulder hip counter rotation, which you need to apply to your walking.
Exactly.
I'm not suggesting
Because we walk with our entire body.
exactly.
and Marina, go ahead. You can jump in.
So this does not replace your fitness exercising though, does it? This is not your only, pardon me?
No, this is more called Sung style, which is soft and flowing and gentle and medical. Remember, Qi Gong isn't really a martial art, it's a medical art, and Tai Chi and the martial arts branched off from Qi Gong and acupuncture. But it's basically a medical art. And a lot of the moves you see in Tai Chi look like Qi Gong moves. Like this is called waving hands, but it's really, if you think about two dragons playing with this Qi pearl, and your palms called Lugong are like really powerful energy sources. And after a while, if you play with your Qi ball, make it bigger, smaller, and really pay attention to it, you'll feel this vibration in your hands and kind of between your palms. And it's really, really fun to play with.
I see Doug moving now. Hi, Doug.
Yeah, Douglas, you're moving your chi ball. Do you
look
feel
very
the energy moving?
He's
You
very
know, it's interesting. Go ahead. Say that again, Kevin. I talked over you.
No, Doug is, yeah, I tend to do that with people. Doug is looking very serious today.
He's concentrating on his chi. And he can't
And if you
unmute
don't,
because
if you
he's
don't
got his chi
feel
ball.
your chi, here's the other thing. If don't get hung up on all this woo-woo, ancient Chinese art medicine stuff. If you
Right.
don't feel chi or your energy, just keep doing it and just imagine like you're playing with this ball and it's fun. Just, drop the I don't feel it or am I feeling it? Just, just be open to it like a kid playing with this ball. And pretty soon, if you're doing 2 minutes a day, I bet you in 3 weeks, if you do it every day for 3 weeks, you're going to feel some energy flow. And
I
that,
feel it already
Right.
because I had surgery on my abdomen, a fibroid removed, and I haven't been able to have, we've talked about this actually before the show, that I can't quite move anything through it, it feels like. But just doing that exercise for the first time in a couple weeks, I'm feeling some good energy flowing and I feel a little bit more flexibility, which is awesome. And I
Good.
feel like there's actually healing energy going through. I call it healing energy, but I actually feel something flowing through my back and my abdomen for the first time. So in a couple weeks. So that's actually pretty cool. I'm curious, Carl, you were doing this for the first time. Are you able to feel anything different, any energy moving at all as you're doing this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my palms felt warmer, and
Yeah.
the sense of volume, like the ball in between my hands, felt very um elastic, like it was there. And if I was changing, if the space was changing, it really felt different. The changes felt different. And it kind of made my whole abdomen and shoulders relax.
It does. And I can feel as my hands are going closer together, they're warmer. And when they're further apart, I feel the cold air, which I think
Yeah,
is interesting.
and I feel tinglies all the way into my fingertips.
Yeah. Douglas,
And
why
it
don't you
feels
unmute? I'm
really
curious
good.
your
Doesn't it feel
thoughts.
good? It's like this little buzz happening. It's like endorphins, little happy brain chemicals going on. And that's the
Douglas,
beauty.
go ahead and unmute.
Before the ball, before that was the bear walk.
Yeah.
Then I'm standing, and a deer walked right by my window, and I felt very hungry.
Wow. Now that's like a sign, like saying, yes, I'm a
I'm
gentle
not
bear. And the
supposed to
deer's
laugh,
going,
Carl.
walk gently on
Oh,
this
don't
road.
laugh, Kim. Sorry.
I
I'm
love
not
that.
supposed to laugh yet after surgery. And that is the funniest shit I have heard in a long time. That is hilarious.
That is great. I love
can't
that.
even.
You just
Carl,
can't
I
make
can't.
this stuff up.
Oh, you can't. And the funniest thing is he's serious too.
Well, the other thing
That's
that's really
even
good,
funnier.
Kim, the other thing that's really good is we all have P.A.D.
Oh, that's
and we're laughing. And so I think laughter actually is the best medicine. It really helps a lot.
Yeah,
It's
it
breathing.
does.
It's
Even
all
if you're
about
laughing
our breath.
inside.
It's all about our breath.
God,
Dogs
that
again.
is so
The dog.
funny. I saw a deer walk by and it,
I love it.
oh my God.
I love it.
The only thing that would have beat that is, oh, suddenly there was a black bear going by. But
Right.
the deer is certainly believable because you do live in the
Oh,
middle
yeah.
of nowhere.
No, there's the deer hunting is not allowed in town, and there's been actually an overpopulation situation going on. So it's not
Oh
rare,
my
but it did walk by.
I
Carl,
actually
you
hit a
made-
deer
you made
on
my day.
Friday in my car. I was driving home I live in rural Florida, old Florida, Spanish moss, country roads, old Florida. And I take these back roads on purpose because I enjoy the view and the traffic isn't so intense and the energy's nice. And so I'm putzing along on this road about 25 miles an hour. And this deer just sprang right out in front of me. And I didn't run it over though. It kind of bounced off my car and just kept loping along. And I was like, wow. So I got to my destination and looked at my car. It busted up my plastic, like it looks like an old cars, like those grills they have on cars. And it was plastic and it broke. And that was all that happened. And then coming back home, here's the weird part. Here's the Florida story part. Coming back home the same way, in the same exact spot, the same exact deer, kind of hobbled, cantered across the road in front of me. But I was ready this time and going much slower, so I didn't hit it. But I know it was the same deer because it was limping.
Oh, that's so sad. Poor thing.
Yeah, I felt bad, but I'm glad it lived, and I'm glad my car lived too.
Yeah, they jump out of, nowhere and it's so hard, sometimes. And and you just pray for their healing, send them some good energy because
I did. I felt horrible. I was kind of like in shock. And oh my God, this
Yeah.
poor deer. Should I stop or not? And it all happened so fast, and my brain's doing all these questions all at once. You know how that is. But it felt like slow motion. And I thought, you know what? It's okay. It lobbled off into the other side of the road in the woods. And I'm not going to mess with an injured deer because they can. Do you know what? More people die from deer in Florida than anything else.
Not alligators. Well, there's been an
No.
increase in alligator attacks in Florida recently, unless
Yeah,
it's
but
just
not nearly as many.
AI
Alligators
faking.
leave you alone if you leave them alone.
I don't know. I've seen a few TikTok videos, but I can't tell sometimes even now with the AI, if they're real stories or not. They claim you're supposed to say whether it's AI, but
People don't.
yeah, people don't. I know that with Facebook, at least, even if you copy even text from ChatGPT or whatever, it can say some of it is AI generated, which is
Right.
interesting. So I pulled up a few posts, and it's actually put that some of this may have been AI generated, which is interesting. So anyway, I digress, but others. So share with us a couple of other moves that we can do that are really easy like this. I mean, this is really
All
cool. So
right.
we have the
This
energy
one,
ball, we have the bear walk, we have the wiggles that we can
we have
do
playing
to
with
move energy,
pearls,
playing with the pearls, right?
or
The
playing with
dragons.
your Qi ball. And this one is the absolute best, and it's easy, but it's actually harder than it looks. And you feel it everywhere. And I really just need you to see my knees. And what
Okay.
I want you, I'm going to start sideways because I'm not going to lean, like I'm not going to try to stay straight up rigid. I'm just going to lean forward, but I'm going to try and remember, I'm not going to slump forward like that because remember, you hinge from your hips and your spine acts kind of like a tabletop, and everything moves from here. It's our center, it's our lower dantian, it's the center of our breath, it's the center of our movement, everything right here. So go down and find a comfortable width for your feet, probably wider than hip, maybe about shoulder. Just find how you're comfortable. Lean over and just place your hands on your knees. Don't lean on them. Don't do this. No, don't lean. Just place them on your knees. And now make outward circles with both of them.
I don't know if I'm that flexible. Kevin, are
And
you
then
that
do,
flexible?
No, that's a
well, you
regular.
can do it sitting down too. To start. And then you do the other direction. You go inward circles. And then you do circles clockwise. And then you
Oh,
do
I see how you're doing that.
counterclockwise. And I
I
tell
see
you
how
what, it's not hard to do. Don't lean on your knees. You're going to hurt your knees, damage them doing that. So just place them and do these little easy rolls. Relax the rest of your body. Wiggle. Relax. And just rotate your knees. And if you notice, my hips are getting into it. My thighs are being used. My whole
that you
lower
can do while
body is
you're
being
sitting,
used, just
too.
not my arms. And that's a good one. If you could do 10 reps of each move for like 4 different ways of doing it.
So
It's
doing
4
out, doing it
times.
in, and
And I'm
then
telling
doing
you,
the
yeah, you go outward circles,
okay,
inward
outward, then in.
circles,
Okay.
this way, and the
Oh.
other way. If you can do 10 each of those, trust me, you'll feel it. And if you can't, don't. Do 2 or 3 and then stop. Rest.
But you're not forcing it, right?
No,
So
you do not ever force
you're breathing.
anything.
No, you're
Just
breathing
breathe
into it.
normally. Just in through your nose, out through your mouth. So
it's a flow as you're doing it.
yeah, it's kind of like you're doing a little wiggle dance, but you're putting your hands on your knees, but not putting weight on them.
Okay.
It's
And
sort of
that
like
just
doing a
moves.
hula hoop, but lower. That's another one. Hula hoop. You can put your hands back here where your kidneys are and just pretend you're doing a hula hoop.
Just slowly.
Yeah, you do it slow. And then you go the other way. And pretend your little chi ball is your little chi hula hoop and it's spinning around you, filling you with good energy.
You
So
got to
I
concentrate
actually-
on the energy moving, right? It's all about, as Kevin said in the beginning, it's about the mindfulness as well, that you need to imagine this energy flowing through as you're doing that. It's not just doing the movements. It's literally imagining that you're moving the energy through your body and around your body.
Yeah, and if that becomes too like mentally complicated and it's screwing up your chi flow, then forget about thinking about it. Butcher the form. Just find that place that feels good and enjoy that energy. It's that simple. You know, sometimes, like I have a tendency to way overthink things a lot, and just recently I've learned to enjoy simplifying
To
my
let your
life
chi flow.
more. But you know, Qigong's really simple and easy. It's so simple that people don't believe it sometimes. And honestly, it's just now beginning to really get a word of mouth going here in the United States. It hasn't even hit critical mass as far as people being aware.
Well,
And
I'm
again,
sure
with
about
all
Tai
these
Chi.
AI and, you know, all of these people, these scammers and the AI, and there's a bunch of ridiculous YouTube videos out there that show this like man who claims to be 70, he has 6-pack abs, and he's like, in 3 weeks, you can be me. Ooh, bullshit. I'm sorry. No, you have to listen to your own body. And yes, there's other forms of higher energy Qigong movements. I'm not going to get into them. Maybe another time. But I think, you know, I've given you what, about 5 or 6 different moves that you can do. And to start with, just pick one and do it 2 minutes and tell yourself, I'm going to do this 2 minutes every day. And I can do that 2 minutes every day for 21 days, for 3 weeks. That's the beginning of a budding good habit. And you just feed it. You don't jump off big and say, oh, I'm going to get certified and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to become the master. No, it's always a beginner's mind with Qigong.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carl.
So I wanted to share this. So this is a companion book to Qi Running that Kevin has mentioned many, many times. It looks like Marcia knows this book too. And one of the things that I've been going through it.
Walking. It's Qi
Yes.
walking.
I'm sorry, the dogs are going crazy. Someone came around the doorbell and they went nuts.
That's cute.
That's
We love our dogs. Dogs allow you to walk 22 minutes more each day.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say was, it really seems. I mean, what Marcia's saying about, you know, you can shoehorn this into these exercises in any time of day when they fit for you. Morning coffee waiting is good, but it occurs to me that like when I go out walking, I just kind of, you know, I'm not probably legitimately busy like some people, but I feel busy all the time. I mean, I'm doing stuff, and it's like I got to get out walking, and it's like I get my shoes on, you know, I figure out what clothes I need, and I go, and I don't do any warm up, and it seems like these exercises, you know, 3 minutes or 4 minutes on these exercises might be a really excellent, just, you know, warm up into going walking. So that's all. It's
Yes.
just a thought, because I noticed that, you know, I get out there and it's like my claudication time, you know, varies every day. And there's times when I go out and, you know, a minute and a half into my walk, my legs from my hips down feel like I'm, slapping lead around on the sidewalk. And I usually warm up by walking, but I'm thinking, this might be a good way to just like get ready in a short amount of time. Just like putting on my socks and my shoes.
Brushing your teeth, combing your hair, making your coffee, any little habit you have, you can stop and ask yourself this question. Where in all these little habits do I have a 2-minute break where I can just play with Qi Gong a little bit? And you'll
What
find
is
so
Qi
many
walking?
opportunities.
What is Qi walking?
I
So
was
I'm not
actually doing the form I've learned, but it's hard to see and I can't walk that far without going off the screen. But the way I've learned it is you get in your Wuji position so your tailbones relax and you pretend like there's a string from the top of your head going down to your tailbone and you're kind of dangling from the ceiling. So your spine is nice and straight, but it's relaxed and it feels open because you're feeling like a springy spring on a string. And so what you do is you take a small step forward with your left foot, heel, toe, lean forward, then lean back, and then shift that same foot out a little bit more. Out. And then lean forward, lean back, bring your foot back, change feet. And to get it in walking motion, you don't bring that other foot back. You just step forward. And then you step forward with the same foot, the empty weighted foot, and you just keep going. Heel, toe, backwards, shift out, lean forward, lean back, bring that foot back, or don't bring it back. Well, you do bring it back. And then you change feet.
And you're progressing forward with it. This is just a slow motion process.
Yeah. Yeah, and this same foot, this has no weight. You step forwards, right forward ahead a little bit, lean forward. So you're shifting your weight. This now is empty weight. Lean back. Now this one's empty weight. Now bring it back and change feet. Lean forward straight, shift back, move your toe out to a little bit of about a 30-degree angle, lean forward again, come back.
Kevin, this could be a really good way for people that really feel like they can't walk very much, or let's say in between their time that they spend where they're supposed to be committing to moving outside, kind of an in-between thing to kind of get them started and build the confidence and to move the energy, without having to run a marathon or to push, because I know it's so painful for people to walk. Do you think that this could be a good way to kind of transition them into it or help them move forward and progress?
Except for landing on your heel. You should never land on your heel. Danny Dreyer's method is somewhat different to that. His Qi walking, for instance, his warm-up exercise is similar to that knee loosening exercise, which you move your knees around, you move them the other way. Another thing is you can move them in opposite directions. I would do that routinely prior to a run to loosen up and warm my knees. So he's taken what he calls Qi running, but he's taken some of these techniques and incorporated into a running process or a walking process. But his approach to Qi walking is you stand still. You don't do the bear walk because that's keeping your shoulders. You've got to have counter rotation of your shoulders and hips. That's critical for landing not on your heel, or you'll get heel striking. And so the trick is what he does. And when I studied his method and applied it, and also Jack Hagee's method, so I went to a low impact running style. No more knee surgeries, running marathons, got rid of a lot of those problems. And basically he starts by, you just lift your feet up and down. You just lift them up and down. One's off the ground, one's off the ground. So here you are standing there, and then you lean forward and let gravity take you forward. You don't do anything more than that. And once you're comfortable doing that, that it's really important that you rotate your shoulders, which causes your hips to counter rotate. And there's a video, I got a video on there about that. But I'm against landing on your heel. But the exercise.
Well, the heel landing isn't hard. It's very soft. Everything in Qigong is soft and easy. So it even takes concentration to move slowly and put your foot down slowly. So I'm going
a very different
heel
exercise.
toe, but it's empty weighted. So there's no pressure on it. You see what I mean? So I'm heel toe, but there's no weight until I just naturally lean forward and let it roll and then step.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing Qi Gong. I mean, it's just a totally different exercise to that recommended by Danny Dreyer. That's all. Because somebody asked what is Qi running, and the Qi running technique is very different to that. But it's whatever works. But you have to decide what is the exercise for. Why are you doing it? What exactly are you doing and why? And that's quite important. So in Qi Gong, it's about being soft and relaxed and following your flow of Qi. And that's important. When it comes to wanting to run marathons, well, you're not going to run marathons like that. I mean, you're never going to get anywhere. You won't get out of the starting gate.
Right.
It's a totally different exercise to Danny Dryer's.
Well, Kevin, tell me about Qi running.
Okay, well, this is Danny Dreyer created a set of videos and a little book. I worked through all his exercises. I met the guy one time, really nice guy, no ego. And he took selected parts of, Tai Chi, Qi Gong, all those different methods, a bit in a way like Bruce Lee in his Jeet Kune Do method, took what worked for him from all different techniques, kickboxing, Wing Chun, whatever. I mean, I studied that for a couple of years. I love that. And he took the pieces of Qi study or Qi techniques and applied it to running. And it caused me to be able to run a whole lot better and learn to run with my whole body as instructed by Jack Heggie in his book. So I took those two techniques and I went from 2 knee surgeries to running marathons because I was heel striking. You must never heel strike. It's really important. You've got to come in from the side, and that's the importance of shoulder hip counter rotation. But the Qigong exercise you're describing is about raising awareness of your balance and where you are and being very soft and gentle with your body. Right. It's a bit like the yoga toes are a stretching exercise for stretching your feet. You don't want to walk around in them because you have to be able to move your feet and contract them, which you cannot do with yoga toes on. So you have to know why you're doing the exercise, what it's for. And that's the difference between Danny Dreyer's technique and your Qigong walking technique.
Interesting. Yeah, I can understand, especially with running, not wanting to go heel toe.
You must never
doing it fast and hard.
Never heel straight.
And there's other Qigong forms that you don't go heel toe. You just put your foot out. And it's empty weight, full weight again. So this leg is empty weight. This one's full weight. And that's a very important component when moving. Like, I can't tell you how many times in the ER, some guy would come in at like the holidays and he threw his back out. And I'm like, well, what happened? And he go, man, I was taking a big 20-pound turkey out of the fridge and I turned and put it on the counter. Well, no wonder you're leaning way out, you're reaching with this heavy weight and you're turned wrong, and no wonder you hurt your back. People forget they can break the move up. Okay, here's my turkey right in front of me. Balance now, shift. So I have full weight on my left leg and empty weight on this one. 45 degrees step, and then come, and then turn. Don't just swivel around, break the step up. It'll save your back, honestly. And these are things that, we get so busy that we forget how to move, how to breathe, how to be, honestly. And again, it comes back to paying attention, which is the magic ingredient in Qigong, but it can be made so much fun. And there's so much variety.
Well, thank you so much, Marcia. We really appreciate you being here. Wondering, Kevin, what are your thoughts? Should we have her maybe on a couple times a month, last 10 minutes of our walking seminar to show us a couple moves.
Well, if you want to commit this program to Qi Gong, that's fine. I mean, as a significant component, you have to decide, but there are so many different techniques, and Qi Gong may work well for one and not for another. I'm not saying don't do that. It's not for me to run the program. You just have to decide, but these it's only one small part of the things you have to work on. I mean, you could focus on balance, you can focus on flexibility, you can focus on your core,
Exactly.
you can focus on your mind. I mean, and so, you don't want to get too tied up with one technique.
It's a good technique. It's a good technique. Maybe we try once a month, have you come on at the last 10 minutes and maybe show us a couple moves, and we can
whatever works. The methods,
it's just fun.
The methods Marcia is showing are ideal for many aspects of this work.
Yeah.
It won't get you running, won't get you doing distance walking, and won't get you to understand the difference between intensity and endurance, but it's a great place to build a base of body awareness and flexibility and taking Qi energy and applying it to these other things.
Right.
So I mean, that's why there are 20 chapters in my training plan and not 3, because you have to cover the waterfront of what you need to keep going. It's, I mean, we have to build collaterals, that's true, but then my method for turning your feet into remote blood pumping stations, that is the most effective change in my life yet. I'm now able to get plenty of blood through my feet by using my feet. And so, Marcia's approach is, it's there. I'm sure she has 100 exercises you can do. I did hundreds of different exercises in Feldenkrais. So the trick is you've got to do something, and you can't do them all because it'll overwhelm you. And so decide on your goal. If your goal is to walk 3 miles, then think how you're going to meet that goal. Or if your goal is to reach the toilet unassisted, that's a different kind of goal. And so you need to work on that. So you have to work out why you're doing what you're doing, and one martial art or another is going to serve you well. I like Qigong, I like Tai Chi, I really like Jeet Kune Do because it used a whole bunch of different techniques, but it was basically for fighting, and it was pretty effective in that respect. And so I mean, you have to decide what you have on, so it's up to you.
Well, we work on this together. So I think it's just having a couple of different options like this. It just gives you something that is little small movements that you can do, and set a goal for the month to just do moving the pearl or doing your bear walk, just to move your energy when you're not out there pushing and doing your regular workout. Here are some things that you can do that can help improve your energy flow. Just like before you get out of bed, you can, do the P.A.D. 100. And Marcia, there are some Qigong style exercises that you were doing to move your energy to keep your toes, because you had to keep your feet as well. You had to continuously focus on those feet. And so you didn't lose more than one toe.
Right. And as one of the guys that I learned Qigong from, Sifu Anthony, says, learn 100 different moves, do 25. So, I'm happy to introduce in little segments, just these little easy things to do, and you can try them out. And if you like them, you can use them. And if they don't work for you, then, you don't use them. I wouldn't mind coming on about once a month. And 10 minutes is more than ample because it doesn't take that long.
Yeah,
to
move,
do these moves.
You had move of the month, one specifically directed towards P.A.D, because we also have doctors on here. We've had podiatrists on here. We've had crazy people on here. And I think, I think it's important for each, session on a Wednesday, we do have a focus for that session, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be my book. It can be whatever you want. But you do need to have some kind of a focus so people know what you're wanting. what you're doing and what you're trying to convey. And also, I think, people who follow the program can ask, well, could you maybe cover how can I protect my knees? And that exercise is perfect for warming up your knees. Danny Dreyer has it in his book as a pre-running exercise. And it's true, you just rest your hands on your knees, and then you do the movements of your knees.
Yeah.
I could do it very quick in opposite directions, with both legs in opposite directions. And it warmed my knees up remarkably. It doesn't mean
one thing you can do before you start doing the rolling knees is rub your hands together. You will feel your chi there, because your hands get warm pretty quick. And then place them lightly on your knees, because that's like actually transferring some of that energy into your knees.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Marcia. And for more, we have all kinds of videos that Marcia had done with Moving Mondays with Marcia. You can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/the way to my heart. And you can also find more great exercises we discuss, such as, walking more, how to walk more effectively. And you can see the P.A.D 100 exercise demonstrated, also our toe yoga demonstrated that Kevin has shared with us at Fit Old Dog. That is his YouTube channel. But make sure while you're there, please, it helps the YouTube algorithm. Spread the word. P.A.D. awareness is so important, with more than 70% of Americans not knowing it exists. So every video you watch, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and share it. Share a video with a friend. You never know when you can actually help save life and limb. Thanks everyone for joining us. Kevin, next week, chapter 5 of your book. What is the title of the chapter?
Oh, it's about spreading your toes with the yoga toes, that's like one of the first things you should really do, is get your feet to spread and comfortable, and get in, like chapter 4 is on shoes and socks, and you have to, get some input from an expert on what you can do safely, and you have to grieve the past. And all this is part of that journey. And so the only reason I'm concerned about having a regular session of anything, including me, for instance, I don't want too much of me, kind of boring looking guy. Anyway,
we love you.
Well, yeah, but we have to have some kind of a strategy. And I think that meeting you have planned for the 19th of September, that is the perfect place to build a strategy for these events.
Yeah. So he just spilled the beans. So I guess we just committed to a date. So it's going to be September 19th. We're going to do a walking orientation and certificate program. So you are going to be able to get a certificate for the Global P.A.D. Association, for finishing, for being there, for learning about walking as medicine, and being able to also not only learn it, but then to share it beyond. And I'm thinking, Kevin, with your book, why don't we create a certificate just even for your book as well, the P.A.D. training manual, a certificate of completion. We have great folks that are here in our live studio audience. We have other folks that subscribe to your newsletter at inspirationalselfhelpbooks.com. And it would be great for them to have a certificate that shows, hey, I learned, I completed, I took the time, and I'm conquering. I'm conquering or persevering with P.A.D. So something to think about, but definitely make sure you follow us. If you want more information about the walking orientation that I guess is now committed to September 19th, make sure you email us at info@padhelp.org. And when we put out the calendar invite, we will go ahead and we will add you to it. But next week, make sure you go on Amazon, pick up your yoga toes, pick up those little yoga toes. I'm sure if you search, you'll figure out what they are. Pick up Kevin's book, the P.A.D. training manual. You can go to Amazon, look up Kevin Thomas Morgan, and you'll see all of his books that are there, which are absolutely amazing. But read along with us next week, chapter 5 of Kevin's P.A.D. training manual. We're going to be talking about yoga toes, but have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, Kim, and thanks, Marcia. That was excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.